Hey y'all, welcome to Other Realm Studio and my desktop. Let's see. We'll go ahead and get this set up. So tonight we are going to be probably finishing up this picture coming up just now, the fairy picture. You can see here that the design of the highlighting and the shadow on the wings is a bit varied. You know, once I take off the black line pattern, so I'm going to be fixing that so that it looks a little smoother. And then let's see, I could also do some more hand studies. What I should practice is foreshortening, although that might be too frustrating. Okay, so let's see, remembering that the hand is made up primarily of a box and a wedge. And then you have to remember from there the mechanics of the fingers. So here we have the thumb crossing over. We have the tops of the knuckles. As you go down the hand, the diameter of the fingers gets smaller. And also, yeah, let's add a little bit more of a natural curve rather than going straight across all of them, because when you grip and you fold in your fingers, there is a bit of a slope coming down. So here we have a fist with the thumb on the outside. And don't forget that the muscle in the base of the thumb is going to crease and go across, and the inside of the palm is going to crease as well. Let's see if I can do that same thing and make it symmetrical. That's also important. You want both your hands to look like they belong to the same person. I've already got a little bit of a difference in the size. Let's finish sketching that in, and then we can get back to shading our fairy on the other page. So let's see, we can go into our multiply layer because I think I have the overlay done all right, but the shading layer looks like it's gotten a little bit wonky right through here. Let's see. Let's go back and hide that. Oh, that's not good. Okay, hide the overlay layer as well. Alright, now we can select inside the shape of the wing. Then we'll come back down here and it might be a little easier to see just with the overlay and multiply layers. Undo, that's not what I needed. I thought I had that on blur. Okay. I think I had it set to the wrong thing. Or to the wrong layer. Okay, now that's a lot softer, and I think I should go over it again with the overlay layer along this outside edge. Let's see, pale tone, do the light yellow and about a size 50 brush. Okay, we'll hide these again. Deselect. Select this wing and go back into the multiply and overlay layers with the blending tool and smooth these out. If they'll smooth. Let's see. Erase that out a little bit and try that again. Alright, I think that's working out a lot better. It matches the pattern in the rest of the wings. I think I can smooth this one out just a little bit too. So that's kind of an interesting effect right there with none of the black lines. We'll give that a thought. Let's see. Oh, hey, Madonna. Yeah, I had something else up on my screen just there. I only just now saw that. I hope you're doing good this evening. Let me see. What was I working on? Alright, so in the multiply layer I decided to go with a dark tone to start. See, a dark tone and a very small brush. I think I'll move up to 10 though. I was doing a lot of brush strokes. And putting in lines that way so that I don't have to go with my black lines, which look too harsh to me. Alright, let's take out that dot that I put in by accident while I was trying to get this thing to scroll. Alright, let's see. So I would love to learn to make, better lines. I don't know if I'm just going to have to call sketchy PC lines my style or what. I mean, it kind of seems like giving up. Because I should be able to copy almost any style. It's just marks. I can copy marks on paper. I don't understand why I can't copy marks digitally, unless really I am having even more difficulty than I thought I was with watching a screen while drawing on a different surface. I mean, sometime I would like to have one of the drawing tablets that you can draw directly on it. I think that would be a lot more like paper. And I could probably get away from having to do the sketchy lines so much. I do not like anything I did for the last, 40 strokes. Let's back out of that. Thank you, autosave. But for some reason, my program, my OpenOffice program that I use for word processing and everything that you use Word for, has been crashing like 4 or 5 times in a row today, and I'm not sure what's going on with it, except that I was trying to use the spreadsheet program, and I'm not really familiar with the spreadsheet, but it should function without crashing. I was trying to make a spreadsheet of different comic shops that I could mail my postcards to, and when I get those in, so that, well, honestly, so that I had an excuse to buy 1,000 postcards. But also so that I would be able to address them all, easily in one place. And I can advertise my comic directly to stores. I mean, I don't really know if that's done or not, but, well, why not? It gets done to me all the time. Just about all the mail I even get anymore is postcards telling me sales and deals and who to vote for. Alright. Be right back. Well, that's just not good. So earlier today, I had stuck my arm through some thorns out in the yard, And also, you know, the weeds have been getting kind of high out on the way to feed the chickens. And I have just found the second tick on me of the day. So, whatever I have done, I have managed to walk through or stick my arm through somewhere with a bunch of ticks. You know, I have free-range chickens. Supposedly, they roam around and eat bugs like that, but not enough. So now I'm going to have the creepy crawlies probably for the rest of my life. Country living. So I'm going to have to do something about that. I mean, I don't really know what I can put around in my yard to get rid of ticks that's going to be safe for chickens. But we'll have to think of something. Okay, so I'm going to blend this out just a little bit more. And try and get the texture of the hair to be a little more natural. I'll also have to try not to blend out too much of what I've already done with it, because I am still working in the same multiply shadows layer. So the trouble here is that I'm not really sure how I need to get the effect that I want, or what exactly to do. So the whole thing really is just experimenting, seeing what works, and trying to remember that when I want to do it again. Which I have been working with this program for, oh goodness, how long have I been working with it? I think it's over a year now. So I think I am getting the hang of it. But there's still a lot of stuff in Clip Studio Paint that I really haven't even gotten into. It's a great program. It's capable of a lot. Okay. Let's pull in just a little bit of detail. Bring some of it back into the features on the face. And down here in the ear as well. As I did get a little ways on the nose. It had gotten lost for a bit. And eyebrows are just immensely helpful in defining a face. This is a lot like doing makeup. We'll put our eyebrows in. And some eyelashes. I don't want to go harsh and black with them. Okay, one of the things that I noticed with my drawing that I needed, okay, let's zoom in on this, that I needed to correct was that I tend to brush the eyelashes up too much. When really they come out a little more straight than that. So I'm glad I was able to correct it. Okay, these eyes are an example of something that looked fine from far away, but zoomed in this close, they need a lot of work still. Let's see. I'll just try to put a little bit of a line here, not too harsh, but just enough to give the lips a little bit of definition. Okay, if I can just use the soft eraser to take out a little bit more of that edge, then the difference in the depth of the color should be enough to finish that off. Yeah, I think that line got a little too dark. Okay, come back here with the slightly orangey brown. Well, hang on just a minute. This line was looking too sketchy. It doesn't matter how good you think your coordination is. when it's zoomed in a ridiculous amount, you can see how wobbly all your lines are. Nope, that one did not follow exactly where I wanted it to. Nope, there's a jog in that one. Come on. I promise you I really can draw. There we go. Let's lighten that up. It looked just a little bit harsh. Let's see. What else can we get into? Alright, so she's not going to need a whole lot of outlining. But one spot that is going to need more lines would be her hands. So let's see, let's take that down to a very fine line. That might actually be too dark to work with. Let's try deep tone. And here you can see where the difference between shading and the flat color has come in. That's why all that looks really jagged. Let's use multiple layers to erase that. Smaller. Okay, that line looks better. Take up the elbow and go on the multiply layer and blend that back down to smooth it out. Okay, now to work out where these fingers should be. So the pinky finger's already separated, so next is our ring finger and the middle and the first finger. Actually, I think this needs to move over just a little bit. So the fingers are all a little bit stacked. You can't see all the way around any of them except, the pinky finger right here. So now that I have the lines to separate them out, I'm going to blend that and make it a little more subtle. Let's see. Let's go back into light grayish. Get something almost pink. And gently brush these in. Okay, so it's almost time for me to go. I might have to make this a shorter stream tonight because I need to make sure I got all the ticks. Fun. Let's see. Oh yes, this ring finger is nearly as long or possibly longer than the middle finger, and we don't want that. So we should be able, not that direction though, we should be able to take it down and shorten it. Not that much though. Okay, I don't really love the multiple layers eraser because it is terribly jagged. I don't know. Is that going to help it? Yes, it does. But that didn't help my aim. Okay, so our I can't read that. That was just a setting on it. It's fine. We can do this now. Alright, so now we've got our first finger, our middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger and ring finger about the same size here, so I'm going to have to carefully cut it down because I liked the gesture here, but it didn't look right. Alright, so that's more realistic. And I should even be able to narrow this finger. Okay, so you can see that this hand, although it's got a lot of detail on it so far, it's still not done. It's still looking really flat. So let me take down the density of the paint and widen the brush a little more. So if you can see, the base of the finger should have a little bit of creasing. On the inside by the palm. You have the lines on your palm. Some of which will wrap around a little more. You have a little bit of marking on where the insides of all your knuckles are. And of course you have the rounding of them, where there's going to be shading on the bottom and highlighting on the higher portions. Oh. And there's your fingertips, your nails. I mean, all this stuff. So hands are nearly as detailed as faces, maybe more detailed. And so here everything's looking a little blocky and sketchy, but you can always take your blending tool and blur it out on the edges to soften them. Or you can use the fingertip tool to, or setting, to smooth out and drag some of your lines. Without being terribly obvious that it's a big blocky line. So the more I work with this, the more realistic it's going to get. And it's like making bread. You got to knead it, and then you got to let it rest. Then you come back to it. And you can, I don't know that it actually improves while you're gone, but you can at least see what you need to do with it next. Okay, so I think that I had this bend a little too exaggerated. So I'm going to try and trim that up a little bit. Okay. Oh. Now what have I done? I have moved where my brush sizes go. Alright, that's better. It's not entirely better because this was meant to be somewhere else. Alright. Cannot believe I've been doing that so much lately. Let's see. This line right here is too straight. So you can see that if I take it and I curve it, it makes the roundness of the fingertip or the finger more believable. So let's finish this one. And then I've got to call it a night. So thank you for coming along, for keeping me company. I'll probably finish this one shortly and get to work on fulfilling some of my rewards for the Kickstarter. Let's back out of this and see how it looks when I'm not, zoomed up to my eyeball with it. See, from here it looks pretty realistic. So yeah, that looks better than I'd hoped at this distance. Yeah, so let's see. What I need to do next is finish compiling the art book / field guide to the Other Realm. That was one of the digital rewards to the Kickstarter campaign for my first comic called Soulbound. Issue 1 is complete. It's on its way. It should be printed. It should be printed sometime in the next month, is what I hear. So I may even be able to mail it out early. So I'm so excited for that, but I need to finish getting my digital rewards together. This may end up being in one of the pages. It was supposed to be just a quick little sketchbook, but I really like this piece and I like my paintings. And I think it's really coming together. So yeah, I have a bit of work left to do. But everything I need is paid for. Everything is on its way. I'll be able to ship it out as soon as everything arrives. And that's when I'll also deliver the digital rewards as well. All right. Bye, Madonna. All right, so good night, and I'll see you in the other realm.